So, you don't think they're trying to kill you? Look at that. Trisodium phosphate. And just so you can see, they're on the Lucky Charms in the ingredients, but there's a better blown up version. Trisodium phosphate. And what does it say about it? Heavy duty cleaner. Use TSP before painting. So they're putting heavy duty cleaners in your food. Michael Chertoff, family helped fund Israel. Mother was Mossad, had evidence destroyed from 9/11. Released all 200 Israelis arrested on 9/11, including the ones caught with explosives. Wrote in immunity for Israel regarding 9/11 into the Patriot Act. A real traitor. I used to believe the story that police exist for our protection, but then I turned 9. So there, in the promised land, harassing, beating, assassinating, spying, kidnapping, jailing, stealing, killing, torturing, bombing, fighting, bulldozing, and, well, just the usual stuff you have to do to get your promised land, really. Yellow Vest protest, Blackpool, Saturday 26th of January, 12 p.m, St John's Square. Now we should be springing these up all over the country. Every city or town should have one. Down to you guys sort out. Don't you think it's sad and odd that folks blame disease on heritage and genetics and not the proven fact that our food, water and air are being systematically poisoned? Pigeon poo chair left in filthy hospital smoking area for 3 months despite deaths. Cancer expert declares cell phone and wireless radiation as carcinogenic to humans. Long-time World Health Organization advisor updates opinion linking wireless exposure to cancer based on new scientific evidence. Teton Village, WY, 16th of the 8th, 2017. An expert cancer researcher and advisor to the World Health Organization, International Agency for Research on Cancer, has issued his scientific opinion that radio frequency RF radiation from any source, such as the single emitted by cell phones, other wireless and cordless and sensor devices and wireless networks, fully meets criteria to be classified as a Group 1 carcinogenic to humans agent based on scientific evidence associated RF exposure to cancer development and cancer promotions. There you have it. Cell phones, Wi-Fi, all cause cancer. Fury as although I'm not sure why. Fury as West Midlands Police launches hunt for 47,000 a year inspector who don't need to have been cops. And I think that's actually a good thing, because all the cops are crooked once they get up to a certain level, but they're all just order followers anyway, so they're subhuman. So you have someone outside the force that's not already been corrupted, maybe a better deal. May not, but maybe, who knows. Taking no idea off the table would leave us at the EU's mercy. Yeah, that's what they're trying to do. Royal gamekeeper hit motorist across the head with a stick as he shouted, "Mind my dogs, you effing peasant," on Queen Sandringham estate. You see, even those that work for them that are slaves think they know that we're slaves, but they think that they're better. Patrick Panks, 43, left bloodied after allegedly assault by royal gamekeeper. The 43-year-old said he was called a effing peasant, then hit with a stick. Mr. Panks said the alleged assault left him in A&E and needing a brain scan. Buckingham Palace said this is a police matter and we won't be commenting. To do with them, UK has biggest fossil fuel subsidies in the EU Fines Commission. Subsidies for coal, oil and gas are not falling despite EU pledges to tackle climate change, which is non-existent. The UK leads the European Union in giving subsidies to fossil fuels, according to a report from the European Commission. It found 12 billion, 10.5 billion pounds a year is in support for fossil fuels in the UK, significantly more than the 8.3 billion spent on renewable energy. Look, I thought we were supposed to be leaving. Clearly we're not, because they're still poking their nose in. And as you'll find out, we ain't never leaving unless we take it back. France summons Italian envoy over hostile Africa remarks. Italian deputy PM blames migrant crisis on France's colonisation of Africa. France's foreign minister was summoned to the Italian embassy in an escalating row over migrant arrivals in Europe that pits the centrist government of Emmanuel Macron against Italy's far right, because he's far right, because he can see what's going on, populist coalition. Teresa Castaldo was summoned over hostile remarks made by the Italian Deputy Prime Minister Luigi Di Maio, who leads the anti-establishment five-star movement M5S, told a rally in the central Abruzzo region on Sunday, if today people are leaving Africa, is it because some European countries, with France taking the head, have never stopped colonising tens of African states? They don't like it when you hit it about where it is now. It is. Can Emmanuel Macron's great national debate save his presidency? I would strongly suspect not. As you can see, dismission the Macron. I'm saying let's get rid of Macron, dismiss Macron, and it's on government. Sack the government, maybe, I don't know. Earlier this month, in an open letter to the French President Emmanuel Macron suggested that introducing immigration quotas might help address the Gilets jaunes crisis. No, talking. Facebook and Google back Labour changes to laws which break encryption. Authorities would need a fresh warrant before ordering companies to assist or build a new capability to access electronic communications. Industry groups, including the representatives of the tech giants Facebook, Google, Twitter and Amazon, have backed several Labour amendments to the government's encryption bill. Look, they all want to know everything you see, everything you say, everything you talk about, whatever. Rory Stewart, I'll resign if prison violence doesn't improve. The prison minister says airport-style security in prison would cut off the supply of drugs to it. Talking shit. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh, I'm not going to read it because it's just too... Right. Listen. Our national insurance contributions are being used to pay off the national debt. According to the government, you pay national insurance contributions to qualify for certain benefits and the state pension. You pay national insurance if you're 16 or over and either an employee earning above £162 a week, self-employed and making a profit of £6,205 or more a year. Here is a breakdown of the government September, the state pension, blah blah blah, incapacity, blah, yeah. And then this letter from HM Treasury. Freedom of information. Thank you for your inquiry. 22 blah blah blah. Friendly, yeah. Can you confirm that the National Insurance Fund is presently in surplus and by how much? Wow. The current balance is increased by 2, well, that's a big number. In 17, 18, 24. All these links will be in the description. I did not give any government permission to use my pension to pay off debt they have accrued. The government is now using significant amounts of our contributions to pay off their debt instead of improving the quality of the NHS. It is privatising by stealth. Well, yeah, we know. Muslims call for boycott of M&S toilet tissue as it has halal symbol on it. Well, for a start, Muslims, well, in the Muslim countries I've been to anyway, don't use toilet paper. They use like a wash, the hose, they sort of wash them. So more bullshit, divide and conquer. One of the police officers' career hopes in tatters after he's caught by paedophile hunters. You see, they want to get into that sort of thing so they can get access to children, or easier access. Man in his 70s dies after being arrested in Bethnal Green. An investigation has been launched following the death of a 70-year-old man in Bethnal Green. The man, who has not been named, was held by officers after they attended an address in Gibraltar Walk on Monday at around 11 a.m. After being handcuffed, the man taken ill and was taken to the hospital, where he died shortly after. The Independent Office of Police Conduct... Look, this, whenever you hear independent, the Right Honourable, whenever you hear any of this shit, they're telling you they're anything but independent, as that is anything but independent. RFK Jr. wins case against US government for vaccine safety violations. Natural News article this. Del Bigtree, founder of Informed Consent Action Group, teamed up with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to take on the US government by filing suit against the Department of Health and Human Services for vaccine safety violations, and they won. This is big news for all concerned with the topic of vaccine safety. It turns out the federal agency has been neglecting their vaccine safety obligations for over 30 years. The lawsuit brought by RFK Jr. is evidence that vaccine safety, as we know it, is nothing more than a sham. Secrecy row as Mayor's Authority pays consultancy £810,000 but refuses to tell public who they are. So this is more dictatorship in your face. Well, I'm spending £810,000 of your money. Well, I'm not telling you where. I don't care. You're not knowing it's my best mate who's actually, giving me half of it back. The backhander deal, as it normally goes on with these corrupt councils. Why Emmanuel Macron's great national debate won't stop the Gilets jaunes. After launching a debate to quell months of protest, France's millionaire president invited other millionaires to a summit at Versailles. Yesterday, in the midst of a social crisis in France, and shortly after launching a great national debate to engage with the Gilets jaunes, Emmanuel Macron welcomed 120 millionaires to the Palace of Versailles. Ridiculous, but... CNN Journalist of the Year resigns for making up fake stories. Klaas Rutulus, a journalist for the German magazine Der Spiegel and former CNN Journalist of the Year, was forced to resign after it was discovered he fabricated the stories on a grand scale for many years. Whatever his name is, admitted to completely inventing over a dozen pieces of by fictionalising sources, characters and quotes following an internal investigation by the magazine. I am sick and I need to get help, he reportedly told colleagues Der Spiegel. But, we all know you can't trust anything a journalist spouts out anyway, because it's always going to be at least tilted to his agenda, and if it makes it past the editor, then it's going to be a load of shit anyway. China starts debt shaming. New app warns users if they are walking near someone in debt. New world order, total takeover, that is it. It's one of these things where, if you've got to carry your phone with you, you've got to, and it says whether you're a good guy, a bad guy, whether you owe any money, whether you've not paid your council tax, how you doing with your mortgage, all that sort of shit. Total new world order takeover. UK pension funds and the shameful use of cluster bombs in Yemen. While our attention was turned to the election, Saudi Arabia was dropping cluster bombs on improvised men, women and children in Yemen, according to Human Rights Watch. Report TheGuardian.com, 4th of May. What is this to do with us? After all, the UK signed the Convention on Cluster Munitions in 2008, ratified it in law by the Cluster Munitions Prohibition Act of 2010, and completed the destruction of its own stockpile of cluster bombs in 2014. This is a good record and shows that it is perfectly possible to undo ties to armaments which we once thought we needed. Our connection with the latest violence nonetheless remains. The weapons used in these attacks were sold to the Saudis by the US government and manufactured by the American firm Textron, which continues to receive investment from here in the UK under the control of UK nationals working for pension funds and other official bodies. The UK law cited above bans all assistance to other involved in the cluster. This is councils investing in murder of innocent men, women and children. All councils have this, not just mine or yours, or they're all at it. David Davis trousering 96,000 for part-time role since cabinet exit. Former Brexit secretary receives 3,000 an hour for consultancy role with JCB. They take the piss. Right, so he's no longer on the cabinet, so now he's only getting his 75,000 or whatever it is a year as an MP and expenses. And of course, while he's travelling doing all this sort of shit, he'll be claiming that on his expenses as well. So we're talking, well, it's ridiculous amounts, but they're just rubbing your noses in it now. The end can't come quick enough. Just can't. Parents can record child protection meetings. A recently published article in Community Care raises the issue of whether or not parents can record meetings with social workers and serves as a good reminder to those who may not yet know the position. Whilst local authorities and social worker professionals often try to discourage the practice, citing confidentiality, data protection and human rights principles, there is in fact nothing in law or policy preventing families from audio recording child protection meetings they attend. A Freedom of Information request revealed that most councils do not have proper policies in place to deal with the practice of recording sessions, both overt and covert. When we assist parents, our advice is always robust. By all means, record the session. Whilst it is good practice to ask for the agreement of all involved in the first instance, if that agreement is not forthcoming, covert recording done without the other party's knowledge or consent is a method of last resort. So you can record that, and I strongly suggest you've got any meetings with the SS, which is exactly as it is, because we know that social services are just child stealing by the state organisation. Record it, and then when you've got evidence, these bastards, these social service bastards, need to go to jail for it. When I saw this, I thought that's fantastic. 83% of parents refuse flu shot at Chicago hospital, stunning health officials. That means that the message is getting through that vaccines are poison. A new report released by the Chicago Department of Public Health Commissioner Dr. Julie Moretti and Lurie Children's Hospital created controversy last week after the report indicated a large amount of shots were refused. Moretti's report showed that at least 83% of local parents refused the flu shot, and that 14% refuse all vaccines. In fact, 14% overall refuse vaccines and 83% of parents refuse flu vaccines. In particular, Dr. blah 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 children said it was the most commonly refused vaccine overall. Moriet blames the large swathe of refusers to the people of thinking it is too late to get the flu shot, but the rub, 2/3 of the people cited concerns over adverse effects, both on the long and short term. There's usually a little bit of redness or pain on the site where the vaccine is given, but what I emphasise to my parents is that the minor inconveniences of the flu vaccine is much better than the seriousness of flu illness. So, catching a cold, basically that's the flu. But no, go and get this poison pumped into your body. Yet as we heard earlier, and the past few days, vaccines have no benefit whatsoever, and that's 50 years of reviewing. Venezuela breaking diplomatic relations with US after attempts to stage coup. President Matodo, or whatever. And US refuses to withdraw diplomats from Venezuela, vows appropriate action if they are harmed. What's going on there? Smoke and mirrors, distraction, who knows? Hundreds of scientists tell the world that the GMO and cancer links is real. I'm not going to read the article, link in the description or at the end. Osborne, Rudd and Blair undermining Britain in Davos. So damaging for Osborne, Rudd and Blair to go around Davos's telling EU leaders that a second referendum is on the cards. Could they be any more out of touch? You see, they're all traitorous, treasonous bastards, and there's 3 traitorous, treasonous bastards straight off the bat. Mirror. Missing Prem Star plane shouldn't not have been flying. Caroline Flack 39 and a new Strictly Toy Boy 24. This is about a paedophile thing, getting you used to long gaps between ages. That's all it's about. Bullshit. Transgender crap. Why won't our government buy our steel? Just 43% of supplied orders by the Tories are from struggling UK plants, because their plan is to destroy the UK's production facilities. That's why. Express. Inside world's best B&B and it's in Torquay. Speedboat killer caught at last. Victims of 999 cops carnage. And yesterday Macca gets back to his roots, except of course that's not the original Macca from that started with the Beatles. He took over in about 65, and they're about this different in height. There's quite a few differences. But they figured that you were too stupid and you crying might kill yourself if they found out he'd dead, so that's why they put a lookalike in. Waste of paper star. Cop shrine vandalised. StarTech all the top. Yeah. Tragic Prem Star killed by mafia. Lover claims crash, no accident. Ant's a cheeky blinder. Like I said, waste of time not behind that rag. Daily fail. Got him. Picture exclusive. Swaggering in cuffs. Fugitive smirks to our camera after finally surrendering. At Home Office Secretary hails the Mail for flushing him out of his bolt hole. Really? Don't talk shit. He gave himself up because he realised he's going to get caught eventually anyway. So give yourself up. At least you do something. And I mean, I don't know the full story about the speedboat thing, but see what happens. I'm sure we'll find out. Or will it just be more smoke and mirrors? The Times. I'm a bit rusty. Yeah, okay. Dutch tried to lure 250 British-based companies over Brexit. Yeah, let's, it's more fear. Oh, the companies are going to go over there if we leave the European Union. Oh no! Fear bullshit crap. Drug firms get millions for war on super drug bugs. First new class of antibiotics in 4 decades. Right. Don't need any more antibiotic shit. Colloidal silver. There are many other things that are just as good, and if not better, but we don't need any more antibiotics. Go down the natural route. I can't remember the oil off the top of my head. Oregon. I think it's Oregon oil. Yeah, I think Oregon oil is also better than any of that shit. Speedboat killer held after 10-month manhunt. Telegraph. Labour pushing to postpone Brexit. Corbyn backs bill to stall Article 50 as cabinet ministers aim to prevent no deal. Treason. More treason. Corbyn, May, doesn't matter. They're all in it together, as I've been saying all along. Speedboat fugitive turns himself in. All babies are born equal, no matter their race or class. Well, that's correct. Footballer's pilot joked he was rusty. Sex offenders released to budget hotels. What about marijuana, cannabis people that have been done for whatever, for growing it or using it? How about releasing them instead of sex offenders? Wouldn't that make more sense? Non-violent, non-aggressive, natural herb producers as opposed to sex offenders? Yes, but that wouldn't fit in with their agenda to cause as much chaos as they can. So we need to end them before they end us. Brexit backing tycoon defends decision to quit Britain. Anderson gets back in the swing of things. Business head for the Brexit door. Yeah. Oh, fear. Sony moves HQ out of UK and 250 firms may follow. Brexit tears warn of grassroots. Yeah. Keep them in fear. If you Brexit, it's the end of the world, so you mustn't do it. Big chill sweeps across UK. Speedboat killer. Blah blah blah. Recruitment drive for new teachers. Yeah. Revival of cinema. Yeah. Six Nations. Yeah. Alzheimer's linked to gum disease. Right. I'm not going to read all the shit that goes with it, because we all know Alzheimer's is linked to the aluminium that they have in injections, they spray out in chemtrails, that they put on the food, all the poisons they put. That is what's causing all this shit. So I'm not reading their bollocks. Anything but independent. How to take no deal Brexit off the table. We don't want it taken off the table, you stupid cow. What's worrying the global elite at Davos? The fact that it's being exposed on channels like mine. There are positives in US foreign policy. Okay. The constant battle to escape tokenism. Speedboat killer finally gives himself up. UK terror chief. Trump gave ISIS propaganda win. Top officer says Syria withdrawal may help to radicalise... Oh, don't talk shit. Metro. AJ quick step off with flirty flack. Yeah, that's the... You know, the pedo propaganda. Premise pilot, I'm a bit rusty. Crackdown on letting fees and tenant deposits. Yvonne Fletcher memorial vandalised. Speedboat killer. Brexit may swipe at Corbyn. Madden bubbly boot guard. Love Island. Financial Times. Electric cars risk halting Paladin's meteoric rise. A day in the life of British driver crossing Europe. Morocco shifts focus to its southern neighbours. Sterling gains market back Brexit delay. Oh well, everything's saying yes, delay, and they're all like, yeah, we'll have a delay. Why is that? Because they don't want us to leave. We're not going to be allowed to leave. Big Four auditors warned not to sidestep EU rules on switching. Watchdog takes tough action stance on top slicing. Clients required to rotate every 20 years. Brussels to drag UK into court over tax breaks for commodities traders. I thought we were leaving. Apparently not, according to that. NHS gives health tech startups a shot in the arm.